Welcome to the AR-15 podcast. This show is for you if you just bought your first rifle or you've been building them for years. There's something we can all do to take our black rifles to the next level. My name is Nick Dooley. Tonight I am joined by, well, we have the full cast again back in the saddle tonight. So, of course, we have Joe, our director of propaganda.
Howdy, everybody.
And the illustrious Garth.
Oh, yes. Very illustrious.
Yes. Party on, Wayne.
Party on.
And we are also joined tonight by a very special guest. We have Curt from TCRT Targets.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Yes. Now, Curt is not just from TCRT Targets. You may have seen him elsewhere because I know that he also does the YouTubes.
I do the YouTubes, yeah. Myself and John Farner, we've got fully loaded reviews. So, yeah, it's fun, man.
Yeah, right on. So before we jump into things here and start talking about stuff, we'll break down. Anybody do anything fun with guns in the past week or so? And Joe, we'll start with you.
I had all kinds of fun stuff going on. Got my shadow out on Friday to get a 0 on it, which was quick. Shot really good with that Cajun setup, that all those Cajun parts in it. And then Saturday I went out to Spearfish for the Prairie Thunder, their last USPSA match out in Spearfish as they were loading up the trailer to start moving stuff down to the new big Pete Lean and Sons firearms or range, whatever they call it, down in Rapid City. Shooting complex, there we go. Down in Rapid City. I had a really good day there. There were 6 stages. My first 4 stages, I was shooting lights out. Then it started raining, but I got to the classifier and just didn't shoot bad, but didn't shoot as fast as I felt I could. And then missed a couple steel on stage 6, which were the first misses I had all day. Otherwise, I had a second place stage finish and 9th overall. So I was pretty happy with the weekend there. There were some of the new classifiers, the 25 series that'll be coming out, and they were pretty fun. And then got back home, and then Sunday went out again and put some actual rounds, some actual shooting through my shadow again with that optic on it. And then Nick and I went out Sunday for 1911 day and took and did some shooting with them just because they never seem to get the love that they deserve. So yeah, it was a busy weekend. Did a lot of shooting. Yeah.
Yep. Garth.
Yeah, a few fun things, I guess. Still working on the range. It was windier than all get out today, so I didn't really feel like doing
in
that.
The business, we call this foreshadowing.
Yep. Oh, yes, 100%. Did not jump on the 1911 train with Joe and Nick, although I am going to purchase one on Saturday because one of our local shops finally got in one of the SIG P211s, and it's going to be coming home to me.
I guess that's 1911 adjacent.
I was gonna say that's not a 1911.
It's got 11 in the name. It's close enough.
It identifies as such.
Yeah.
As Savage on We Like Shooting would say, it's a derivative.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. So yeah, super, super stoked to get that back home, and I don't know, maybe shoot a match with it or two yet because we've got a couple yet here. So yeah, I will let you know, Andrew, 100%. Once it's in my possession, throw a red dot on there. I've got like 5 floating around my desk right now. One of them will go on there.
Yep.
Is that the one that takes? Is that the one that takes the 320 megs?
It is.
Okay.
So yeah, super stoked for that. And then beyond that, I mean, for those watching live, I know it's the AR-15 show, but I'm gonna plug myself for a second. I'm on iTunes and Spotify now. Check me out. I have a band. Okay, I don't have a band. I have a band.
He has a computer.
I have a computer. I write all my own stuff though.
Nice.
I've listened to him. I think you do a good job of writing the songs.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I was impressed with the lyrics and the flow of the words and stuff. So
well, I just gotta
too bad you don't have a band to sing it for you.
Well, that's the next step. Well, actually, that's not the next step. The next step is to wait till wintertime and then go down and go to Sioux Falls and go into the recording studio and actually sing them myself. But I don't have that kind of time right now. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Well, you can at least tell people what the name of it is so they can find it.
sorry, yeah. For those that are just listening and don't have the interwebs watching us right now, Prairie Revival is the name of my group.
Well, I don't know if the people watching are going to see. Oh, because you have it under your name.
I have it under. Yeah.
Yeah, like no one was looking at that.
Yeah. No one ever.
Yeah, like most of those times it says like Warcraft or War Crime Connoisseur or things like that.
Yeah, I know. All the guys that come to our live show are just talking in the comments. They don't really pay attention to our show. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
I'll
like,
keep listening. I'm gonna check it out when we're done.
no, thanks.
Kurt,
man.
how about
Yeah.
you? Did you do anything fun?
Just got done trying out the new Saint Victor, kind of their reboot on that. Impressed actually. That thing's pretty cool. It's a solid upgrade from what they had before, and yeah, digging that. Just trying out that and that new Dira, like their island barrel pistol.
Yep.
That thing's pretty cool. I was surprised by that one.
Like I'll be honest, when I saw the Dira stuff, personally I was a little bit more interested in that Beretta clone, but
That one's fun. Yeah, we shot that too. That thing's fun.
that's a me thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. But the island barrel, I was really surprised. Like the recoil impulse on that is really, really soft. So
And that
like
is the ports in
at
the
first I
barrel,
thought,
right?
oh, it's gonna be kind of looks. Now it's solid. It works really well.
Yeah. Right on. I know that well, sorry if anybody that's listening on YouTube, see if we get cut for this, but I got something special in that came in. And it's like I don't have the Dreamweaver song to play here, but we got a High Point AR in. Full length rifle, High Point 16-inch barrel, and I am very excited to start putting that through its paces. I know that we shot them at GunCon and really was impressed with them there. So I'm more excited to see how they turn out as we go on. And gonna put that one through its paces and probably do some things with it I shouldn't do, which will be super fun. Nothing illegal, just go do stuff that people probably wouldn't expect to see a High Point rifle at.
If
That'll
you're
be
going to go full, then go full.
Oh no, that rifle is in the other safe.
No, I'm
that
not
one came from Jeremy, and it's called the Retard.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah. I want to get us PC.
Because that's literally the model number.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's the RET4RD. So we did that. I know that I saw in the chat there somebody asked what we were drinking. So before we move on, we'll do our Thirsty Thursdays segment. And tonight I am drinking some Old Pepper bourbon, bottled in bond. Very nice bottle. Thoroughly enjoy it. And that is my drink tonight.
I've got a bottle of High West, their American Prairie. It's a store pick from Mr. Liquors out in Rapid City. It's a good one. It sips real well, but you never know what you're going to get when you do a store pick. So they're kind of fun sometimes.
Fair enough. I'm not as fancy as these guys. I'm all about the party time. It's summertime still, so got some nice hoop tea here.
I'm boring today. I've just got like the Diet Coke, but I will say it's really funny. Really quick story. There's like this gas station like down the street from me, and they have one of the best bourbon selections I've ever seen. And they had this deal where you could get, I think, 3 different bottles of mixtures and a bottle of E.H. Taylor for like $200. I was like, yes, I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that bottle of E.H. Taylor is like $200. So
yeah that's
a
a solid deal.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
our local, well, not across the river, but the one here in where I'm at is we don't have a liquor store, but we have a gas station. They get some pretty good selections in. Yesterday they had a bunch of E.H. Taylor and Plantons, but
Yeah, it totally makes sense that you would have a super nice liquor store in a gas station.
That's pretty common.
No, it is though. That's the funny thing.
Oh. No, real quick here from the comments. Eric from YouTube. How about the Glock AR? Any word? That was like the pictures of that went around were for a special contract, I believe, with the British SAS. They were trying to win, and that probably never going to see it in the States. I don't believe they won that contract, and I don't think they're going to enter this market. I know that they've talked about doing some other things, but they're almost as bad as HK because they do still hate you.
Right.
And there's not enough horses here.
No,
but
I'd still own one.
I'm sure you would.
Horse?
No, not a horse. No. No.
I don't know, man. The Glock AR is kind of like a unicorn, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
fabled, and we've all heard about it for eons.
Yeah. So it's a high point AR now. We have one. So
that is pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I am truly super excited to see that. And but well, now that we've gone through those rabbit holes, Curt, let's talk a little bit about TCRT.
Yeah.
Because for people who don't know what TCRT is actually targets.
Right. It's yeah, go ahead.
Well, shooting is fun. Everybody needs to mag dump into trash every now and then. Actually shooting at something is better.
That it is. So yeah, TCRT, we make self-healing rubber targets. I'm sure you guys have seen other things like that. Ours are different because we spent about 3 years developing our own proprietary rubber formulation. So they honestly last a lot longer than some of the other things that are out there. We're rated for about 400 rounds of 5.56 per square inch. I know that sounds crazy, but that's really where we're at. I mean, we've got targets with over 20,000 rounds of 9mm, and they're still fine. We've shot them with 50 BMG, and it just leaves like a little pinprick of a hole. So they definitely hold up. So the other thing that we do make the stands as well. So really what we tell people is, kind of for the cost of like a large torso steel target, you can kind of get some hanging target.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm sure we'll all pick up later because
so
I know
works.
Things happen.
There we go.
Oh, right.
You roboted for a second. But,
my bad. Yeah,
that's fine. You're saying for the price of a large, like a steel silhouette, you can get a more expensive or more expansive setup.
Right. You can get like a torso target and stand and like a dueling tree setup and that kind of thing. So you can really set up like a whole course of fire. And the nice thing about them is they're so lightweight that, you can get together with your friends. And what we tell people is just spray paint them so you can see your hits. But then I'll always tell people like, hey, spray paint them different colors so you can call out different courses of fire. You'd be like, all right, reds get 3 hits, whites get 2, go. And then because everything's so light, you can just move them around. And now you've got your next stage, So, yeah.
Yeah. So like here, just going through on the website, I have it pulled up for anybody watching live. Like there's bundle packs. This tactical pack piqued my interest because, it has the hanging gongs that hang down. And there's 6 of those that you can put up and kind of do in semi-dueling tree fashion. And then it also has kind of a more traditional stand to hang up what would be a USPSA target that is self-healing. And those have piqued my interest because you can roll them up if you're not using them.
Yep. Yeah, that's the nice thing about them is they're lightweight and they're flexible. And that's what I'll tell people is like what I'll do a lot of times is I'll just leave the base together and then just pull out the uprights and you can just roll up the whole target and throw it in the back of your truck. And with the gongs, because they're so lightweight, we've all learned how to, game a plate rack, right?
Yeah.
But because these are so light, you can, I've basically run, one of our 8-inch targets, like 6-8 feet out. So now you're varying distances apart, heights, that kind of thing. It just makes your course of fire more fun. and engaging. Just, you know, it's better for training too. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna comment. There's some comments here in the coming up. Thermostable, 110 in direct sun for months, crumbly in winter. Like those are questions. Like, can you just leave them out?
Yeah. So we were in Phoenix, and we had a piece of our TCRT rubber out in the desert for 2 years. It's waterproof and it doesn't dry rot, so it holds up.
So they are UV stable as well. Then
Yes.
And then you said, you know, obviously 400 shots per square inch. So I mean, these things they have a decent lifespan on them that you can
Absolutely.
run for
Absolutely.
years, and as long as
hello.
what was that?
I think that may have been a Joe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe died.
Oh, well,
Rest in peace, Joe.
Sorry.
Anyways,
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know what the hell's going on.
now we were saying this, like these can hang for, hang outside forever. You can have them.
Mhm.
Now, one thing you mentioned with changing distances on this. So this is something I don't think some people realize. So these are not steel. These are obviously a polymer.
Yeah, they're actually like a latex rubber. Yep.
But I was gonna say they're something, it's not steel. So you can actually shoot them closer.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's really where these things will shine. I mean, I've mag dumped point blank literally like 2-3 inches off of these targets, 9 mil, 5.56, 7.62, 308, and they're fine. You're obviously not going to get any ricochet or spall or anything like that, but also the targets hold up. I mean, if you've ever done kind of like the, CCW training, shooting from retention, you just blow apart your paper or cardboard, right? These hold up fine. So, yeah, it is. I mean, we really spent, like I said, 3 years developing this specifically for ballistics. They were made to be shot, so they definitely hold up. And like on our torso targets, I probably shouldn't, but we sell, like, if you shoot out the A zone, we've got a patch kit of the same material, so you can just slap it on there and keep going. So yeah,
that's awesome when you look at doing that. And
Mhm.
then, you might not get the ting of the
Right.
of steel,
Mhm.
but like with those hanging gongs, you'll still see them flop and move.
Yeah,
More
they'll
so.
move, and like I tell people all the time, just spray paint them, and you can use any spray paint, it doesn't matter. And then you'll be able to see your hits that way. And I get it. Like we all love the ding of steel. I don't know why that's so satisfying, but it is. Um, but a couple things, like what I tell people is, like, honestly, like if you're shooting, long range precision or something, and you've got steel out at, you know, 800,000 yards, something like that, you steal, because you may or may not see your hit. Like, I
Mhm.
get it. But if you're doing anything in closer with pistol or rifle, then these things really excel. And like I said, you can put them in really close and they hold up. And the other thing I tell people a lot of times is, and this is speaking like solely from kind of a tactical standpoint, and then at least for me, like I'd go shoot, steel matches and that kind of thing. And your feedback for success in that OODA loop is audible. You're listening for this ding, and that's kind of a training scar, I think. I don't know. If I shoot somebody and they go ding, I think I got bigger problems. Right. But again, like I think it's, better where you're really working off of your visual. So you're looking, visually for your feedback as opposed to listening. So that's kind of what I tell people there.
No, I do think that. And then again, from the comments here, we've
Mhm.
got one asking about M855A1, which is an armor piercing round, which would be perfectly fine for this.
Yeah.
Like,
It would actually honestly probably be a little better. That's what we've found is the faster rounds actually zip right through and they leave a smaller hole. And the other question, like, people ask all the time, like hollow points. I tell them, hey, physics is going to physics. It's made to cookie cutter out a hole, and that's what it's going to do. And what I tell people for shotgun is, as long as you're about 7 to 10 yards back, you're good to go. What happens is if you're closer, the wad actually acts like a giant hollow point. So that's going to punch through. But if you're back far enough where that's not in the equation, then they hold up great.
Well, I think here's the best, like one of the best perks about them is I jumped on the old Google machine and looked up just USPSA targets, and you can get 1,000 pack for like $150 on maybe a wholesaler or something. But most of them, like Shields and Cabela's and all that stuff, you're going to pay $100 for 100 targets,
Right?
And then that's a one-time use. You throw them away,
right?
Versus you guys, where thousands of rounds that you can leave out year long and shoot, and all you gotta do is spray paint them.
Yep,
it's a no-brainer in my opinion that's the direction I should go, because I'm also a steel guy. I like to shoot steel. It's a satisfying factor that I get to go out and shoot and ring my own steel, but I can't really practice anything closer than 10 yards away.
Right.
Like I have to be 10 yards or farther away to shoot steel. I don't want to get hit, ricochet, or small or anything like that.
Exactly.
With this stuff, you can actually do that in-person training stuff. Everyone carries for you.
Right. And the other thing too is there's, you may see some other rubber targets out there, and they've got basically like the, IPSC kind of etched in, which is cool. But our viewpoint is like, hey, like you can do what you want. So each full-size torso target is going to come with a stencil, so you can spray paint that in if you want. But if you decide, hey, I really want to do, like a dot torture grill or something, we've got like some stencils for it, so you can do that, and then you can just keep reusing it. You just spray paint over it. Or if you want to do like a, shoot no shoot kind of setup, you can do that as well. So again, it's really flexible. And then with our stands, kind of the sky's the limit. It's really whatever you can come up with. Like we've taken our stands that we use for like our torso targets and just gotten some of that orange netting, and hey, now you got a barrier really fast, so there's a lot of things that you can do along those lines. And again, it's all lightweight, so it's just really simple to set up and tear down.
And the stands use pretty much just furring strips.
Yeah. We just use 1x2s because I was like, look, they're inexpensive. None of us are going to shoot them. Right. It's always our friends, but again, it's inexpensive, and it's also lightweight. That's the other reason that we really did it that way. Just to make it easy.
I know that I've shot on I've shot on them before with the stands and everything set up, where like, oh yeah, we've got this hanging and all the gongs and everything up. The last time I went out and we were doing night vision shooting in Colorado, actually was using TCRT stand and targets, and had all that stuff set up, and it was like we pulled everything out of the back of the pickup and just quick screwed everything together. All right, hey, yep, it's up, it's on.
Yep.
Stuff screwed onto the board already, and we're ready to go.
Yep.
And just started blasting. And I know that is the stand is one of the things I think is super neat, and just the targets in themselves. I'm a fan of the torso targets because you can do so much with them.
Right.
Like you said, go up, do a dot torture drill where it's just like, yep, okay, hit that, and then go right back into setting them up to run whatever you needed.
Exactly.
And but we kind of skipped one thing, Curt.
What's that?
We jumped right into TCRT targets, and we didn't really get your story.
So I started in the firearms industry in 2016. I started I was at Faxon Firearms for a number of years as their director of marketing. And then from there, I went over to True Shot, which sold ammo, and that's what moved me out to Phoenix. And then we started working with TCRT. And basically the story there is, years prior, they had actually been working on military and law enforcement contracts overseas. So basically outfitting ranges with this rubber. So like there's a military facility, I think in Singapore, with like 2 square kilometers of TCRT rubber. They just use as like ballistic curtains and that kind of thing. They've lined shoot house walls and all kinds of things with it. And then I came on in 2023 because they were basically came over. They're actually originally out of Australia, and they brought me on to help them out and basically just stand up their consumer products in the U.S. So I worked with them. long story short, real fast, it was a pretty small, kind of lean and mean team. And I got to know the owner and kind of the creator of this whole thing, Clive Blair. He's actually from South Africa, but grew up in Australia. And if you talk to those folks, they swear their accents are different. I can't tell. But if you tell them that, they're going to be really offended. But anyway, so I got to know Clive really well. I mean, we worked together, 24/7. And basically, long story short, like around Thanksgiving of 2023, he got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Yeah, and went home. And I got a phone call like Christmas Day that he had passed away. So that was 0 stars. Do not recommend. But yeah, that was tough. So basically, for 2024, I was pretty much running everything in the United States. So I was doing dealer sales and marketing. My background's in marketing. But it was interesting because like when I was at Faxon, I got to do like a lot of product development as well. And that was actually really cool because Clive and I we were always in sync, and we could iterate so fast because we both kind of had that mindset, So in a very short amount I think honestly, like with our stands, we did about 5 or 6 different versions of those, but we did them in a matter of days because, we'd be like, all right, I think it needs to do this. These are the tweaks we need. And then him and I could just quickly pivot and go, all right, how do we best cost this? And, what's the pricing going to be and all that, and we could just work really fast through that. So basically, yeah, I was running everything in 2023 or all of 2024 rather. And then basically the beginning of this year, I had the opportunity and I acquired the company. So it's, yeah, that was just an awesome thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. And I know that there's going to be a bunch more questions of this as it comes up because it's always been a hot button of what TCRT stands for.
Ooh, that is a trade secret. Maybe like on our 10th year anniversary or something, we'll say what it really means. So we keep making things up. Like, and again, hey, if you all come up with something good, let me know. Like we were just at the GOA goals event, and we made stickers like Taco Crisis Recovery Team and
nice.
Yeah, all kinds of just goofy stuff.
Tactical combat reusable targets.
Something like that, right? Yeah, I know. Like everybody just makes stuff up, but yeah, it's a trade secret, so we'll have to find out.
Trade secrets.
Yep.
Ancient Chinese secrets.
Yep.
It's totally Calgon reusable targets.
Ooh. Yeah. Somebody kept saying touch Curt right there. I was like, stop.
It was Aaron. We know.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
That's
Maybe.
Aaron wouldn't have said it. He'd have just tried it.
Yeah.
That's
true. Oh, he has. Lots.
Yeah, he's been around Aaron before.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Clicker says gonna have to try them on a 0-degree day here in Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, they do. So, they definitely hold up there. But yeah, they'll be fine. So.
Well, that is awesome. Those things are working that way, and I know that getting into the designs, there's a lot of just it's more the modularity and everything you can do with them is so awesome.
Yeah,
just being able to kind of custom design it to be what you want. You got all the different torsos and bundle targets, and then your different sizes for your rounds and hang-ons and the racks and trees, and this setup is just so ultimately customizable that it's almost as customizable as VZ grips. The neat features of VZ grips are machined from a solid block of G10, and G10 is great because it's durable. It doesn't get slippery when covered with mud, blood, or sweat. The 17-degree grip angle and wide variety of textures from mild to extreme, as well as color options and shorty versions are also available. 1911 grips with extreme customizability, standard swim palms, well, sun notches, safety cuts, bottom profiles, and more. More than 25 textures and 27 colors are available. There's one coupon code that is good for 15% off all handgun rifle grips, and that is AR-15 podcast.
Drink. Everyone says drink.
Drink.
So Dr. Scary Guy's actually doing sciencey stuff.
Mhm.
And says, so does your proprietary Rebel formula make you better than the ID recycled rubber targets? And are you,
I get
or are
this
you better for
question.
other reasons?
I get this question all the time. And again, like the ID guys, they're here in Phoenix too, and they're great folks. They're great guys. But it is, I mean, ours was made specifically to be shot at, so it definitely does hold up better. So I think I just saw they just did a post, I think 2 days ago. You know, they basically said like their torsos are rated for about 7,000 rounds, before you can kind of patch them or do whatever. Like I said, we've got some pushing 20,000 or more. So, yeah.
That's solid. I mean, I was just thinking about Joe this weekend when he went and did his match and he got rained on. And so all the, cardboard fell over and they had to reset up basically.
Right.
Just another plus of why you
Mhm.
wouldn't want to go this route.
Yeah. And to your point about modularity, that's really the main core and crux of what we do. I'm just like, look, we want to make this as flexible as possible so you guys can do whatever you want to do. I speak with like a lot of trainers, and it is sometimes, you've got folks who want their paper targets to take home, or say you're, sighting in a rifle or something like that. Just staple your paper target and use the TCRT target as a backer. We got a lot of folks who just do that. So there's a lot of different things you can do.
Oh, no, I like from the trainer standpoint here, I was like, oh no, this is definitely something that I would want to have. Like,
Mhm.
I understand, yes, people want to take have their targets to take home, but I could even see using this sometimes for us. Like right now, we got 50-mile-an-hour winds outside,
Mhm.
and I've taught classes in that environment. And
Yep.
hey, we're going to put this up, and yeah, we're still going to do this, but I'm going to use this now as a target backer and
Yep.
put paper on top of it.
Yep.
Because you could still do that and shoot your various stuff on top of that and then pull that target off and still have the AC zone behind it or the full silhouette to move
Exactly.
on from there.
Well,
Yeah.
how many
Yep.
times have you went to the range and forgot your stapler, or you run out of staples, or there's always something someone forgets, and you've usually got to go to your buddy's pickup to hope they have it.
Mhm.
But if you can just pull these out of your box of your pickup and set up, it's just one less thing you have to worry about, and that's the ease of access is what I really am digging about this whole setup you guys got going on.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah. And the other thing that I tell people, to your point about like high winds and that kind of thing, is because everything is lightweight, I'll tell people like the feet on these, make them like at least like 3 feet long. That's really kind of the only thing that you might do a little bit different, is just make your base just a little bit longer than you might. But yeah, I mean, I've done the same thing. We've been in, I've personally been shooting these out in like 20, 30 mile an hour winds, and yeah, they're fine. So, yep.
I was going to say, Joe and I spent a year down in Arizona, so I know full well how windy it is. But
Yeah, we
we
just
were
had 2 monsoons and like, the Haboob dust storm thing that happened like last week. I couldn't see the house across the street. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah, well, we were at least we were further south than you,
Mhm.
and at least up on the mountain down there in Sierra Vista.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
it was like, hey, this is supposed to be like the least windy place in the country, and it's just as windy as home. I don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we just
Yeah.
had a question come in. How thick are the targets? Are they the same? What dimensions are available?
They're basically, the thickness is all the same. It's basically they're 1/4 inch thick. So,
And
and
then for different sizes available,
yeah.
so they have 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch hangers,
Mhm.
and then for doing the full torso, C-zone, half, and quarter torsos.
Yep. And what we'll do there is, where that setup works really well is, I'll tell people like, if you get those different sizes, now you can simulate distance if you don't have a lot of room. So that works out really well there.
So, like, if anybody here's ever been around people who do like the know your limit or the know your limits rack, or like the NRL 22 guys, where they'll set up a target at 100 yards, and then they have a know your limits rack, which okay, that's great, until you realize they're shooting at targets that are a 1/4 inch like
Mhm.
total.
Yeah.
And well, Dusky, I realize you could have looked, but this is also an audio show, so not everyone wants to look it up. So questions are good, but when you're putting a round on something that's the same size as it at 100 yards, you're actually like really kind of testing what you can do and simulating things out to a lot of distance.
Right. That's
and
awesome.
That's where, like, even if anybody who's done like training or dry fire training, the little like, I don't know, you used to get them from Double Alpha, but they're the little like balsa wood USPSA targets that are all sorts of little different sizes, so you can put them in your basement and up and dry fire simulate. Same concept.
Yep. I was actually just talking with somebody. She shoots a lot of competition, 3-gun, but also primarily like a lot of shotgun. And she was like, "Hey, can I get some of your 4-inch?" Because like a lot of times, like to end the stage or to transition, you've got to basically shoot a clay. And she was like, "I get tired of shooting it and then having to run out there and replace it. So can I just get your 4-inch and we'll just spray paint them orange?" I'm like, "Yep."
Oh man, now we have a new training aid for zombies in the Heartland.
Oh, 100% with you. I was just thinking, I was like, huh.
So it'll probably be up in the next couple days. We are doing like different like stencils. So we've got animals, but yeah, I'm doing zombies. So
sweet.
So those will be for sale soon. So just for fun.
The last couple of years, we've gone and shot Hornady Zombie in the Heartland match. They're major, they're major 3-gun.
Yep.
And if you've never been to that, you should come. It's a great time.
It is.
Yeah.
But a lot of their targets are a clay in the head. And it's different than a standard 3-gun or USPSA because it's all headshots and single shot.
Yeah.
So it's all right.
That's awesome.
And there's always one guy that forgets as soon as the timer goes off and starts double tapping everything, which is okay. But I mean,
and on one stage, his name may have been me, but
I wasn't going to say it.
I will. What happened? My finger got stuck.
Yeah. I guess one question I do have, and maybe we answered it already, I don't know. There's a lot of information while I'm browsing your guys' website. What are the weight of them? Because I was looking at these, these speed rack plates and stuff, and part of me really wants to put them on hangers just to increase a little bit of challenge, just the wind obviously out here, like I said, we'll whip around a little bit, and why not try for a moving target as well? So are they pretty heavy? I mean, you said they're 1/4 inch thick, so
the full size torso is around 17 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, the hangers aren't bad. But yeah, I've actually done that too, where it is like for the hanging ones, in a decent breeze, they will kind of move around a little bit, which is good or bad depending on how you want to look at it. I've honestly also like hung them off a string so they'll spin. That makes it interesting.
Yeah, no,
so you can start doing some fun stuff there, right? Like I'll spray paint them different colors, and you're like, all right, like I said, reds get 3 hits, greens get 2. Go.
No, that's exactly what I was hoping to do, is like just put them on. Yeah, Dirt Racer, it was the website. The other one is, your OnlyFans, but you haven't really put more up. So
talk about that.
Garth, I don't want to hear about your foot finder. So we do have a question here about sending multiple rounds on a target in a short period of time. The amount of heat will the targets deform?
Not at all.
Like you've engaged with full autos and things of that nature.
Oh yeah, I mean we've had them in a number of different range days, full auto all day. We were just at the goals event in their range day, and who was it? Somebody had a really cool like belt fed 9mm. That thing was fun. But yeah, I mean they basically shot at our targets all day. We were at when Demolition Ranch opened the range before he stopped doing stuff. We were there, and it was full auto all day, and it was funny because we actually set up we used 2x4s instead because we knew what was coming, and everybody cut the 2x4s in half, and the targets were fine. So
weird.
Yeah.
How about tracers?
We've shot them with them. They're fine. It's basically fire retardant as well. That's also kind of part of that secret sauce. And that's coming more from that military law enforcement standpoint.
Yeah,
That was definitely a requirement.
That was just purely an anecdotal thing. So I was like, huh,
Mhm.
rubber tracers, that generally burns down ranges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, and speaking of burning down ranges, a lot of people like to think that they're going to burn down range, and you can sure burn down a target rack. One thing you won't burn down is a sweet holster from Curt Tactical. Curt Tactical is your one-stop shop using premium USA sourced materials. Curt Tactical will build you a holster in a variety of styles and colors, along with light and laser options. Whether you're in law enforcement, a competitive shooter, or an everyday gun enthusiast, trust that Curt Tactical will provide every firearm owner has access to top-tier personalized holsters, as well as quality custom products you can't find anywhere else. Use code AR-15 podcast for 10% off at CleckerTactical.com. And yes, Dirt Racer, I'm going to say they're minigun safe, because if you can afford to buy and fire a minigun, you can afford to replace this target.
100% you can.
Yeah.
And that is all I have to say about that. No, so with running this, I know that I talked to you a couple years ago at SHOT Show about this when you're kind of really getting everything going in 2023 and it stepped into the company. And now that you've taken over and kind of purchased it, have you seen more growth in this? Because I know that we had an explosion of gun owners, and then everybody's looking at accessories and like, how do we go into this? And people are starting to see that, yeah, it kind of sucks buying paper targets all the time. Like, I buy paper targets at a rather insane rate because of having training courses and things of that nature. So at any given time, I've got I built literal target rolls, like the sewer pipe that's 8-inch PVC pipe.
Yep.
And I just roll the targets up in that, screw them shut so that it's water and mouse proof out at the range. And I'm like,
we've definitely seen an increase from new shooters and that kind of thing. And really what it is a couple things. One, depending on the range you go to, I've talked to a lot of folks, and like, you can't bring your own steel out. So here's an alternative for that. If your range doesn't allow you to use steel in their bays. Again, it's nicer too, because you don't have to worry about ricochet and spall. But the other thing too is really what I've found is when people kind of have that aha moment to go, oh, you know what? I'm not just shooting at like one static, my one target out there. That gets pretty boring. Now I can set up this whole course of fire, and I can, get together with my buddies, and we'll kind of time each other, do whatever. It just makes it more fun and engaging, and it makes your, training that much more enjoyable, really. So, we've definitely seen a lot of folks who are finding it really filling a niche for them. So once they kind of get past just that initial, hey, for your new shooter, all right, I want to get a gun. All right, cool. Well, now I actually want to, be really proficient with it. This is just a great way to do that.
Yeah. And again, when you get into some of these target packs, like, it might seem like it's expensive, again, perusing the deal here. If you would go through and it's like, hey, well, I'm going to do this, the marksman pack, which doesn't have, a silhouette on it, but it's an easy, quick setup that has, again, multiple different sizes and different colors where you come up and you can kind of build your own shooting gallery.
Right. That's really what we found is a lot of times what folks will do is they'll get like that, or they'll get like a torso target. And then a couple weeks later, they end up ordering more because they're like, oh, I can really set up a number of different scenarios and that kind of thing. And that's really what we found that happens quite a bit.
Dusky says, TCRTs won't break my toes when I drop it.
That is true. That is true. We all draw the short straw on like who's going to haul the steel out there, or like out in Phoenix when you have to bring it back in and it's 8,000 degrees.
Yeah, no one wants to touch those then.
No.
Yeah. I definitely, when we break out, the couple times a year when like Garth brings his stuff out, or I take when he starts to tear his down, or I bring my trailer load of steel up and we start setting everything up, it's a lot of fun after we get it set up.
Yep.
But then it's like, well, I guess we have to clean up now.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And my other thing too is like with steel, I don't know about you guys, but I've had, instances where it is when you're cleaning it up or whatever, somebody shot an upright or did something, and I cut myself open more than once, putting it all up or tearing it all down. And yeah. Again, I love steel. I don't know what it is about that ding. I get it, but
it's that instant satisfaction. It's like instant gratification.
Yeah.
Bang, ding.
Yeah. Somebody, I heard this just recently and I really liked it. They're like, steel builds confidence. These build skill.
Yeah.
Because I just hit it somewhere. Well, did you hit where you were aiming? And with these, because you're seeing your hits, you know exactly where you're hitting. So yeah.
Yeah, steel helps you transition from target to target faster, but these will actually help you build accuracy.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one of those where it's like speed is fine, but accuracy is final.
Yep.
And Garth's just chuckling, being like, me.
No, it's true. I'm not disagreeing with any of it because, I've got a whole bunch of IPSC steel targets on my range. And sometimes I hit them and I don't know where because they've been shot at so many times. And I'm like, I was aiming center mass, but it's moving to the left. So I'm like, I don't know if I hit it in the shoulder or if I hit it down in the hip or where I hit it at. So,
right.
Or if you have a case of the dancing dot where it's like, hey, this is maybe over here now. And
yeah.
Yeah.
So steel is great. And it's rewarding because you obviously hear the sound. You're like, I hit that. And it doesn't matter if it's 10 yards or 50 yards away. Like, I just did that. And then you go and shoot, a competition. You're like, I ain't hitting this 6-inch plate at all because I don't know where I'm hitting.
Right.
No, and I do think that there is a lot of value here, and this is something great to pick up. Like, I know that I want to be talking to you more about targets, but this is definitely something I think people need to be looking at, and it's another, I hate saying like another tool in the toolbox or another, thing to look at. One other thing, like we had Huxworks on, they're just talking about all the different things with like leading and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Anytime you're shooting steel, all of that lead gets all over your body.
Yep.
Where you're not going to have that as much shooting at these. So it's a little bit cleaner for your health wise as well.
No, that's definitely true because it is, I mean, the rounds are basically just zipping right through. And again, like some people ask too, like, how well do these actually self-heal? And like I said, like 5.56, the hole is like a pinprick. You can't see through it. A couple months ago, I got together with my buddies at Barrett, and we shot him with 50. It's up on like our YouTube channel. Same deal. I mean, it closed right back up. It was a little bit bigger of a hole, but you still couldn't see daylight through it. So, if it's closing back up with 50, then what more can you do, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like that is a solid and useful tool. And it's like, hey, we can have this and it'll burn through and catch stuff. Yep. And this is where I also know that some of us may have a large supply of things like standard 855 that you don't want to shoot steel targets with. Or if you happen to be someone who has a large quantity of 855 A1, one, call me. But, the other part is that stuff is nasty to steel. Yeah. I have like that'll go through steel like a hot knife through butter. It won't even look at any of it.
Yeah.
But
funny story is when I was at True Shot, it was a awesome experience. There was a kid, I think he was about 19, and it was basically kind of like a unofficial like Make-A-Wish thing. He had cancer and he wanted to basically go shooting with a Navy SEAL, and the owner of True Shot had a buddy who was, and so we went out, and this guy, we brought everything, but we had a steel target out there, and Navy SEAL guy he rolls in with black tip, and we're like, don't shoot the steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely a thing, and I've seen it done.
Yep.
And it's like,
Yep.
oh yeah, hey, that stuff ungood,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
that's
Been there, seen that. Yep.
Dirt Racer. Can I do an unofficial Make-A-Wish?
No,
wasn't that his wedding?
Retarded.
Oh, nope. Guys, as we start to close in here on an hour, Garth, you got anything more? Joe, you've been quiet. Got anything to add on this?
Yeah, Joe.
No, I mean, you keep talking about how expensive stuff gets. And I'm not talking to, they're good. The targets are nice, like you said, for keeping up on a range. I personally my wife orders enough stuff on Amazon. I just cut the boxes up and use them as target backers and freetargets.com and print out my targets. So, but if I had Garth's range or a place like that, I can definitely see the benefits of just putting them up so they're always there. So you can just step outside and shoot or something like that. So, any way you look at it, when I go to the range, I got to haul something. So even if they are lighter than steel, I've still got they're still heavier than regular cardboard. So
no, I totally get that.
No, I've looked at them before. I think they're neat. The setting up the dueling trees, they're not the dueling trees, but more like a plate rack at our local range would be nice instead of having to haul steel around. That's where I can see where the real benefit comes from is
right.
Not so much maybe the silhouette side of it, but being able to put up those reactive plate racks or, like I said, dueling trees or the hanging targets. So
yeah, and we'll get a lot of folks who it is, and I get it too. You know what I mean? Like, you can buy a lot of paper targets for the cost of a TCRT. I totally get that, but what we found is a lot of people are like, they just like the fact that they can just get a pack and it's done, and they can set it up, and then they don't have to go track stuff down or go buy targets or go find cardboard or cut it up or do whatever. It's just ready to go. And again, like, you can just keep reusing them, and that's really kind of the benefit. So when you do that sort of cost benefit, you definitely come out ahead. We were actually talking with like Phoenix PD, and I think they said their budget for cardboard backers is like 40 grand a year.
Yeah.
Like, and again, not all of us are shooting that much, but it's just nice when, you can just set the thing up and just go shoot and have fun with your friends. And it packs down again real easy.
No, I think that for me is like the perfect thing. Now that I actually have my range that I built, and I've got the steel where I want it, but I have enough space to, move stuff around and do that close action shooting and stuff. This is definitely the way I'm going to go, because I don't want to screw around bringing paper targets out. They blow over in the wind easy.
Yep.
After one use, they're done. I don't want to buy pasters. It's just a hassle. But if I can buy something that I can just leave at the range and stake down, that's all I want. I mean, I'm 20 miles out of my hometown to go shoot. No one's going to mess with it.
Right.
So I can leave it there. It can set. It'll be fine year round. Yeah, Nick's actually pulling up the picture of my range right now as we speak.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So,
and we'll do that a lot. We get requests for that a lot at range days, where it is like you'll put your steel further back and then you'll put TCRT targets in closer. And that combo works out really, really well. We actually ran into a thing like when we were at the Goals range day. They had a steel sponsor, but the bays were really short. So everybody got there and went, yeah, this isn't going to work, So I'm just, all right, here you go. We'll get you guys set up. So it's just figuring out, what do you need and what's going to work best for you. And like I said, like, these are so modular that you can customize them however you want, and, set up courses of fire however you want to. So
no, I'm stoked to get them on my range, because
man,
it's going to work perfect.
Yeah, I see that Dr. Scary Guy is asking if you could make target clips out of self-healing rubber, asking for a friend.
Right? Yeah. No, and that's I know. Isn't it funny?
Yes.
Everybody always magically shoots the clips, Yeah. We actually do just sell like the cheap metal ones, and I did my best to kind of keep the price as low as I could on those, because it is like I get it, It's nice when you can just kind of buy everything. And that's the other thing I tell people is, like with the torsos, you can just clamp them on if you want, or if you want something more permanent, just screw them in. Like I said, we just screw them in, and then you can just roll them up when you're done with the uprights on, and you're good to go.
I can say this. One thing that I found interesting is I've been teaching classes for 9 years, and using furring strips and the cheap
Lost everything.
target stands, the metal ones that you just put in, staple everything to.
Mhm.
And I've had the same 10 target stands that for when I needed to build the range up quick for pretty much the whole time.
Mhm.
Last year, I go out and we use them for a 3-gun and PCC match because we needed extra targets. And somehow 2 of my target bases got shot at the connect where
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm not you guys are supposed to be the ones who know what you're doing.
Mhm. Yeah, at that range day, somebody shot one of the rack stand bases, dead into. I'm like, come on, guys, you're supposed to be better than that.
I've met a fair bit of other media shooters, and
Yeah.
that is not entirely surprising.
No, it's not really, if we're being honest.
Because the only time they shoot is when they're at range days like that.
Or if they have videos and they might speed them up a little.
Yeah, that too.
What?
What? No.
Yeah. It's like the ones that you have to pull back into the booth to explain how the AR works before you put them back out on the floor
Mhm.
with your AR.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen that either.
No. Of course not.
Nope. So before we get rolling up here, Curt, where can they find you and your stuff at? And make sure to plug the YouTubes and all that as well.
Sure, absolutely. Basically, you can find all our products at tcrt.com. That's going to be your best bet. We're on, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, all that. Just basically, it's TCRT_targets usually, but you can find there. And tell you what I'll do. I'll set up a coupon code for you guys. So yeah, we can do. If it's cool with you, yeah, I'll just do AR-15 podcasts, and you guys can get
Perfect.
15% off.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That'd
man.
be awesome. So yeah, everyone, make sure to wait to order until that's in.
Wait.
I'll do it as soon as we're done here. We'll get that set up. So
Don't pull the Garth and order while we're in the show and then find out later.
Yes. So that is awesome. Garth, I see that Joe popped off because I think he's having some internet problems.
Yeah, you know what? See, you give me crap before the show starts, but guess who hasn't done that? No, yeah, okay. So, yes, I do actually. Hang on, let me do this whole thing. If you guys can see, I'll just pull it up all the way. Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co for all your patch needs, guys. Check him out. Nick's got one on his microphone. Join the Patch of the Month Club because the Patch of the Month Club is awesome. You get a patch every month for $15. It's super cool. He does these awesome patches per month. They're limited edition. Check them out. Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co.
Yes, indeed. Nope. And guys, make sure you're out supporting people. It's been quite a month. And when we get into stuff, it's definitely time where everyone knows the things that I'm about to say. But we need to be supporting our gun rights organizations. Go out, and join Gun Owners of America. Help support the people who are supporting the fight and making everything through. So keep that stuff going. And that's just a dad advice from Dooley. But
yeah, it is a new record, guys. Yeah, just give me 3 more weeks, okay?
Let me do a quick plug actually for GOA, because I've worked with those guys for a while, and they actually said something that impressed the heck out of me. They're like, our goal is to work ourselves out of a job, and I was like, that's actually pretty cool, and they mean it.
Yeah.
So when they say no compromise, and they're not wasting people's money, it's true. So they're doing good stuff.
Yeah. And that's awesome. And that's one of those where I'm like, nope, just guys go out and support them.
Yep. Yeah. They got my money.
Then, they've taken my money too, and I'll keep sending it to them. But as we go through here, guys, everyone knows the things that I'm about to say. Go out, get training, get medical training. I've always said this, and expect to self-rescue. You are your own first responder. And get training, get medical training, and you folks out there, stay safe and stay armed.